Yes, sir. It's your boy AB, and welcome to another episode of the Open Gym Podcast. A lot going on in the sports world. Not too much football, but a lot going down in the NBA. NBA is back in action after the All Star break. So we're going to hop into a few topics going into the second half of this season, joined by some great guests today. So without further ado, this is the Open Gym Podcast.
Champ talk, shooting shots, they just want me to fade. But my game made when I'm getting buckets today. Crossover, pull up, bet you fall for the hezzy. Game 7, prime time is butterflies on your belly. Now can you do it? Folding under the pressure, boy, can you do it? If you going, show 'em who better. Don't let the game slip and don't get caught in the lights. Crown me, yeah, Jordan taking off on the flight. Baby, give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done. Give me all the rings right now. We the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another edition of the Open Gym Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Open Gym Podcast. It's your boy AB, and I am joined by some great men within their respective industries. First, we all know my co-host, ZiggtheArtist, is here. Of course. Welcome back. And then, as well, we're joined by Philly Sports Network writer and contributor on the Sixers. We have Justin Crosby. Also, just recently announced the co-host of the Baseline Scoop podcast.
Yep.
This is it's great to have you here, man. I mean, tell us all about that. Let's start there first before we dive into anything, man. Welcome. This is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah, man. I'm just excited. I'm happy. Appreciate you guys letting me come on. And you already know PSN fam, and yeah, the Baseline Scoop, new co-host for that Sixers podcast. So it's on Spotify. Go listen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we all know Zig. We all know this. His crazy behind is with us again. Do rag wearing. But we gonna have some sleepy time. Yeah, this that late night edition podcast. You know, we got some things we need to do, but. Like I said, we just gonna jump right into it, man. Just a few things we wanted to just discuss. Like I stated earlier, at the start of the podcast, fellas, the NBA is back. We went through the All-Star weekend. It had some ups, had some good times, but it also had some piss poor times, as we all know about that dunk contest and everything like that. But we here now, man. It's a Thursday night. The NBA has started. We have a few games that are going on right now as we speak. We have the Celtics against the Wolves, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. I'm sorry, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies against the Wolves, and then the Celtics against dang, I just had them in my mind. The Nets, yeah, another marquee situation. So like I said, that's just two of the ones. There's a couple of games that's going on tonight right now. So we just wanted to hop on there, just give our takes on a few things that's going on. But I mean, how you feel, fellas? I mean, the NBA is back. It's the second half of the season. We all know now it's time to really get down and busy, get going, really mesh with your team, gel. We like I said, we all know, like, you know how it gets when it gets to this time. It's crunch time, not playing. You got to figure out rotations. You got to figure out all these things. I mean, I guess, we have the guests on the show. So, Just, man, I guess how you feeling right now going into the second season, and what are you expecting, essentially?
So I mean, I'm expecting the teams to make the playoff push. I mean, specifically for the Sixers, everybody knows, and we'll touch on it a little later, but just getting James Harden involved and try to figure that out. But as a whole, the Eastern Conference is crazy wide open. Everybody jockeying for position, the top seeds. So it's gonna be interesting. It's like every game matters. Like
Yep.
every game really matters. It feels like it does. It feels like on a night, when two Eastern Conference powerhouses lose, if you win a game, you can move from 6 to 1. Like it's that crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just that second half push, and I mean in the West, it's crazy over. I mean, it's really a 3-team race, really over there. Just the play and stuff with the Lakers and the Clippers and everything like that. So just that playoff push. Interested in that. There should be some good games going down the stretch.
I think his headphones came out.
Go ahead, Zig. It's on you.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
what's going on?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
staring.
yeah. I'm just. I was waiting for you. But I'm just more excited to see, like the new acquisitions on each team. I think I'm more excited to see. Like, so what Eric do. Me and Justin I was bobbling the Rosen snapping. So like I'm actually excited to see the Bulls because we haven't seen the Bulls in the playoffs since like I want to say since like D Rose like actually a contender.
Yeah.
So that should be exciting. I think this is for time in a long time to be more exciting than the West right now. And then of course I'm pulling for my man Brown. Like that's just what it is. But I think this is all in all. I think this is the time we see everybody, every team, every player turn up. I don't watch too many of the games in the first half of the season, but this is the time I start spending and really start getting in the bag. But yeah, are we going into the All-Star game? 'Cause I want to go into that too a little bit.
I mean, how we roll on here, man. Like, might as well go right ahead.
All right, well, yeah. So the All-Star game was dope. I like the actual All-Star game. That joint was actually dope. Steph Curry, he showed his ass, man. I don't know, like what that man be doing with the dog. He is like, it's really amazing to watch, and it's like disrespectful because he shoots and then walks away. He's like, bro, you gonna watch your shot go in? And that's like his thing. Basically, the last time we was on this show, I made it a joke, and I picked Carl Anthony Towns to win the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
3-point contest. So
I remember.
That was exciting. Yeah, like right. Remember, I was like, man, I'm gonna just go with him. Like, man, I didn't even know that man could shoot 3.
Like that.
Right.
he ended up winning. I'm like, oh crap. In the dunk contest, I'm just having fun with that. Doing trash. I don't even know what they can do to get the dunk contest again. The only thing that I can really feel as though they would be able to do to get people to watch the dunk contest, especially this year, is to get marquee players back into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That definitely plays a part. Definitely needing stars, because don't get me wrong, creativity is still out there. Because like I said, we can watch YouTube and see guys that mini-minded Joe from the block out there dunking, doing some crazy stuff. But I mean, like I said, between the NBA, just having that be the marquee thing during the All-Star break, definitely names matter, because if you think about it, we know the people, you know what I'm saying, because we watch basketball. But to the casual fan who like just turns on the All-Star game just to be entertained, you sitting there talking about the dunk contest. We have Opie Toppin. I know nobody know Toscano Anderson from Golden State. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? So some of the names that was out there, Cole, Jesus Christ, everybody's name is slipping my mind right now.
Cole Anthony.
Cole Anthony, there we go. Another one, again, we know who he is. We know who he's the son of and everything like that. But to the casual fan, they don't know. So star power does matter, and I feel like it'll bring people good.
And I think the stars, but I feel like because it's been such a joke since like Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon situation, that the stars don't want to be a part of it. And I think the real way to bring it back is to get some of these like professional dunkers that you be seeing on YouTube or something like that. Like get them involved, have like a prize for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something like that where maybe you have like 2 NBA guys, but maybe get like, some professional dunkers and they gonna get crazy and it's really gonna bring the hype back. And also give them a chance to, get a look from the league or whatever. Okay. But I think that would bring more excitement than watching 4 people that are like fringe rotation players. Like right. I don't think that's going to work going forward. And if they're going to keep doing that, they should put the 3-point contest last. At least that'll be.
So that's where I was about to go because we all know. Okay. I'm gonna let you go. Zig, because he did touch on a point with the players. The only, I guess, backlash I know the league would probably have, not backlash, but pushback rather, the league would have when it comes to that is having those just professional dunkers out there show up professional players. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if they're ready for that image of, let's say, Zach LaVine was out there, who everyone would automatically think like, all right, he's gonna win. But then you got Sean from Burke Street out there going crazy and have Zach LaVine look like he don't even belong out there with him. It's like I don't think the league is ready for something like that. But then, like I said, if that's the case, they definitely. I know people. The NBA is a shooting league now, so this notion of you can't have, and I know Kenny Smith said it a lot during the broadcast, you can't have shooting last on a Saturday night at an All-Star game. I don't see why you can't, because why do we watch the NBA nowadays? Like that's all they do is chuck up threes. Like you just said earlier in the podcast, Karl Anthony Towns won the 3-point contest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everyone in the NBA shoots threes. I don't care who you are. Yeah. So that's definitely you know what? You're gonna trigger me today. I'm gonna leave Benny alone because I'm gonna sit here and just go all day with that. But yeah, man, I'm with you when it comes to that. Go ahead, Zay. What you have to say?
No, I was gonna say that's the same thing I was gonna say. It's just when you do that and you bring other like the outsiders in that's not in the league, that's destroying the brand of the players,
the product,
and that's what it's that's all about. It ain't about talent. It ain't about money. It is about money, but it's a brand as well. So I feel as though like you said, somebody Sean from Burke Street come up and they flying over 2 cars. Then you wonder like, all right, well, what the hell is the NBA players doing? Why are they in the league, but he can fly you over 2 cars, and he just doing some regular, and he taking 20 dunks to do 1. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And that was another thing I think killed it too. Yeah.
They got to do something. I don't know. They got to do something.
Because they used to have a rule, but then they used to have a rule when you only like 3 dunks. I think it was like
they did
like the pass rule. That should go back to that.
But I think I'm trying to remember what year was that. But this is it. What they do now. That's what happened after. I cannot remember who it was, but they. Oh, it might have been. I think it was Nate Robinson, right? When he took like 7.
It was about Chris Birdman Anderson.
There we go. Yes. Yeah.
And he tried to dunk. It seemed like 15 minutes he was trying to do a dunk. And we like, bro.
And ever since then they switched it to this whole, all right, we gonna give them chances, so we not gonna count it as a dunk unless it's an actual, what they say, when you actually attack when you come down, when you have the coming down motion of the ball into the hoop, that's when they count it as an attempt. Whereas, like, I'm with you. It put the pressure on them, make you go practice. Because I don't think they even practice anymore when it comes to dunk contests when you really think about it. Like, literally, remember we used to see people doing videos of them in the gym working on different things prior to the actual dunk contest coming up. So I don't even think they practice. You can't. Because even we seen, and I think that's what killed it this week as well, where it's like, bro, like especially who I was actually rooting for, Jalen Green. I'm like, bro, like you got some crazy stuff you trying to do out there, but you literally just attempted this joint 10 times. Like no exaggeration, you just attempted this dunk
Yeah.
10 times, and then you didn't even do it at this. So it's like that really kills it. They sitting there trying to get the crowd up and everything like that. It's like it
And
ain't
like you
going to
said,
work.
it shows that they ain't practiced that because he probably thought in his head like I'm gonna do this dunk, but he probably didn't practice that. And
Between that
see
and
how
all the
like
people,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
he gotta do
and
something.
them bright lights is different. Them bright lights is different when everyone's staring at you and you got to go out there and attempt to dunk. Like it's crazy. So
Shit, the skills competition was better than the dunk contest.
I mean, and that even had his moments of like, all
I was
right, what
about
am
to
I
say,
looking at
I'm
this cat?
actually like, I no, I actually like the skill challenge. I mean, it wasn't like nothing crazy,
Right,
but I like the way they did it. It's like as far as the teams,
right.
and I don't know. Maybe that's another way they can do it. Maybe they have like street ball players versus like NBA players during the dunk contest or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, it's
I'm
something
better
they
really like make people be like, you feel what I'm saying? Something that make people be like, because they brought Giannis brother from the G League.
G
Like
League. Yeah, it was
nobody
a lot
knows
of
who
G
that
League
guy
guys
is.
out there doing
Mm-hmm.
that during the weekend.
You know
So
what I'm
Yep.
saying?
maybe that maybe I can see that element happening before like just bringing someone off the street. I could definitely see an element of like if we
Right.
got some high flyers down in the G League because you can spin that a little bit. It's like they're in the G League,
Yeah.
they close to the NBA, so it's good. So I can see that. So that might be a situation where, like you said, it definitely be an exposure situation where you actually know the Cause like I doubt
Mm-hmm.
people even knew who Giannis' youngest brother was or didn't even know he was in the league. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know
They don't even
that.
know his second or youngest brother.
That's
Like
what that's
they on the same team.
exactly. So it's like all that stuff matters, but that's what's up. I agree with you guys when it comes to that. Also during the weekend, we all know and I'm gonna pull it up here for the viewers to see. We have the
Let me
top
get my list.
75 list, the top 75 anniversary team. We got a lot of names that's on here. A lot of names that's on here right now. I mean, we could just hop right into it. You see it is right there on you guys' screen. Like you said, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ray Allen, Giannis, Melo, Nate Archibald, LeBron on there, Kevin Garnett, Patrick Ewing, Julius Erving. The list goes on and on. Kawhi, Paul Pierce, James Worthy, Jerry West. A simple question for you guys, man. One, do you think overall they got this list correct for the most part, if not all the way? And then two, do you believe anyone shouldn't be on there? And do you believe a player or two or even more should be on there? When we just talk about the 75, because I think next year they actually go farther than that. They add I think to about 100 or something like that. So y'all, we can start with our guest once again, Justin. I mean, let us know what you think.
So I think for the most part they probably got this right. There were a few names that are on this list and a few names that are missing that I was, just personally in my opinion, I was like,
Right.
like the people that I feel like shouldn't be on a list of the top 75. I feel like Anthony Davis shouldn't be on the list
Okay.
for sure. I
Okay.
feel like Damian Lillard shouldn't be on the list. I also feel like I mean I'm cool with mostly everybody else. I do feel like some of the and I don't want to take away from the history of the game, but I feel like we do give credit to
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
these older
I know where you're
players
going.
who, if
Mm-hmm.
you stack them up against the talent now and stuff like that, they just wouldn't be really top 75. So
They
yeah, so
wouldn't
I just
exist.
like, I don't know. But other than that, I mean, it's cool. Kawhi Leonard is something questionable, like just because. But we talked about a little bit about his resume, him having 3 chips, 2 Finals MVPs. Um, but yeah, I think those names and the names that I feel like that were missing, and there's a few that you can make an argument for: Klay Thompson,
Okay.
Dwight Howard, Paul Gasol.
Okay.
Vince Carter,
That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah.
Mutombo, and T Mac. Those are some of the names. I'm not saying they all deserve to be on there,
Right.
but I feel like some of those names could have snuck on the list. And even if we go into somebody like, Penny Hardaway or something like that, maybe. But I know his injury, his list of, I mean, his history and his injury history kind of shortened his career from being great. But he was still 14, 3 or 4 time all NBA, like first or second team. So, but definitely I think, some of these, like Dwight Howard really sticks out to me of
Okay.
somebody who should be on the list. I mean, he's like a 10, 11-time All-Star, like 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, all defensive teams, block leaders, rebound leaders, went to the NBA Finals a couple times, won a chip. So, I don't know. I feel like as he went on the way out of his career, I felt like he must have rubbed a lot of people in the media and other people wrong for him to not end up on this list.
Zig?
I agree. Yeah, so I'm gonna take out 2 players and I'm gonna put in 2 players. So I'm for
Okay.
sure taking out Anthony Davis. I'm for sure taking him out. Y'all watch this show, y'all know how I feel about this guy. Like, I'm putting Dwight Howard for Anthony Davis. Like,
Okay.
hands down. I don't even know how Anthony Davis made it over Dwight Howard. Hands down. And then I'm taking Damian Lillard out and I'm putting T-Mac in. Shoot, I might even put, even though he has his injuries, I might even put Penny Hardaway in because it's not like, even though his injuries took over,
Yeah.
he still beat Jordan. Like, people forget that. Like, when, like, the Magic was a team, like him and Shaq was really a team. It's just things happen, but I'm not I don't know why Damian Lillard is on here, to be honest. I'm just looking at this list. I'm not saying he's a bad player,
Right. Right.
but I'm
I
just trying to
got
think
you.
of, like, what did he do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Anthony Davis, I just don't like him. I just feel like he didn't take the keys for the Lakers like he should have. But even if he's on this list, I'm still putting Anthony Davis over Damian Lillard on this list if I had to choose between the
Okay.
two. But yeah, definitely Dwight Howard, and definitely T-Mac is the people that I see. I like the Paul Gasol one too. I
That's
like
where I
that
was
one.
gonna go because when he said that, I was sitting
Yeah,
here thinking while he's talking, like Paul Gasol had a really nice career. Like you say, he got what 2 chips out of it.
Yeah, 2 chips on a bunch of contenders.
Right. So and he was a major piece in all of them too. It wasn't like he was just like coming along for the ride,
Right.
I guess the only thing I struggle with, because again, like I said, the list is going to expand. So Paul Gasol will be on it regardless. I'm just trying to figure out, does he belong in the 75? You know what I'm saying? And you brought up a good point as well, Just, where it's like, I know these old folk about to get me, but like I understand the historical value of who these players were to them. You know what I'm saying? Like
let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And my bad, but let's keep it real.
You good.
George Mikan.
Right.
With footage is out there.
Right.
Like, come on. And you telling me George Mikan, if you compare the abilities and the careers and all that to even AD, Powell, Yao, stuff like that, come on.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I'm just like, I get it, the game, the historians of the game, but
and that's what they try to hit you with.
I don't know.
That's what they try to hit you with.
What y'all think? What y'all think about Manu?
Yeah, him and Tony Parker, I feel like they fighting for the same spot.
That I agree. I absolutely agree. I feel like there's so many parallels with them, not in game, just more so what they accomplished, because literally it was together. Like everything that Tony got, Manu got essentially like that. So like you said, you putting it that way as far as them being in fighting for the same position. Like it's a lot of people. Like I said, the easy ones, T-Mac. Obviously, I understand why he wasn't there. AI even said it during.
Wait, no David Robinson?
No, he in there. He should be in there.
I'm saying David was there. David's there.
Yeah.
David's there.
David Robinson in here?
Yeah, David.
Oh, I see him.
David
I was about to say. I was about to say. Hold up.
No, yeah, you gotta put the Admiral in there. Like you gotta.
Yeah.
If you don't understand who he was in his career, yeah, you just a casual fan of basketball.
Only man with a quadruple double.
Only man with a quadruple double, bro. I ain't gonna even go down that road, but I trust me. We wouldn't. Don't get me wrong. Tim Duncan probably still was going to be a great player and probably still would have won. But he even said it himself. If it wasn't for the Admiral, bro, even when Timmy got there, it was the Admiral's team. Timmy wasn't even Timmy yet. Like he was still out there giving you double, giving you 22 and 22. Like what? Like yeah, like so like he definitely is on there. He definitely belongs there. He helped shape and move Tim Duncan's career essentially like that. But like T-Mac, definitely someone I feel like should have been there. Vince, he probably should, but I'm not gonna say he's a slam dunk for me when you're talking about top 75. He has
Vince
he's done a lot, right? But he was more so like he just revolutionized to me. This is me. I'm telling you, to me, he revolutionized the game when it comes to just that guy that's like we had MJ, but then Vince took it to a whole nother level. Like Vince bounce was stupid. Vince bounce was stupid when he came to the league. So I think he more affected the game in that aspect. Don't get me wrong, he was a hooper, and I mean he played forever, so it was like he was around for a minute. But yeah, for me, off the top, T-Mac definitely should be in there. Tim Duncan, not Tim Duncan, we know he in there. Who did we just say earlier? Paul Gasol. There we go. Yeah. Paul Gasol, someone I feel like should be in there that takes place of some of the guys. Anthony Davis, like you said, person I feel like shouldn't be in there. Dame Lillard, another one. I know. So
maybe 100, because whenever they do the 100, I think they're gonna do it 25 years from now.
Okay.
So for sure, Damian Lillard will have made his mark probably, like for real, to be in the top 100. But in the top 75, I don't know. That's a little crazy to me. And then I got a question for both of y'all.
I think they just felt bad for him.
I think it's just more so recent bias when it comes to it. It's just like you see him right now. That's how I feel essentially like that. But go ahead. What's your question?
So with the top 100, far away, who do you think currently right now that's not on the list? And we're not talking about like the whites or nothing, but some of the younger stars or the up and coming some of the stars could you see on the top 100 list? I could see Embiid if he stays healthy.
For sure. That's easy.
I could see Luka for sure.
Yeah. He gonna have stats even if he don't win. He's gonna have stats.
Right. The only other person I really see is
Lord.
I could see a Jason Tatum, but it might be hard because he's gonna have the scoring numbers. Jason Tatum is gonna end up with the top 10 of all-time scoring numbers because he don't pass the ball.
That's not a part of his game right there. He just goes.
But I feel like Luka and B are locks. Sure.
That's easy. When you said dude, as soon as you said it, that automatically that was like no brainer to me. Like you said, just their skill set alone is going to put them in classes when it comes to statistics, and then don't even let them win. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you damn near
MVP or something.
Exactly. Like if Embiid was to win this year, you might as well just solidify him now, essentially like that right now, and don't let him add an MVP on top of it. That's a good question. You took two good ones off the board, so that's definitely damn. You took two. I'm gonna go this way then. So I'm gonna go to the little bit younger cats, and obviously health plays a part into it. I can see someone, and I know he even playing it. I can see someone like a John Morant making that list, only because. Oh, you said top 100 too, though, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of like the younger cats. They gonna have to play a long time. He's reckless. I don't know. I can see a Ja because especially if he stays in some place like um, Memphis. Because soon as he hit the league, he made an impact. You know what I'm saying? Like his team went to, even though they was the last seed in the conference, they made the playoffs his first freaking year. Like that says something where you have people that we put on higher pedestals that ain't. Prime example, Zion Wood. Obviously he's been hurt, but that was supposed to be the one out of that class to totally just take over the league, and it hasn't. And people just cast away John Morant like it was like nothing, like he wasn't gonna do nothing. So I can see him by the end of his career definitely creeping up, and they might have to revisit this and start editing this top 100 essentially like that. I can see him creeping up. So that's just someone that just popped in my head. Just off the bat, nobody else really. You took some two good ones off the board for me.
I think it's one I forgot though. Yeah, I think it's one I forgot. I think Jokic. I forgot about Jokic. He gonna be on there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, a big man doing what he's doing, and I know he ain't better than Embiid, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in there. This may be a maybe the top 100. If he continues to be solid like for the rest of his career. I think Derrick Rose going to sneak in there too. Nah, Derrick Rose.
I think Derrick's there already. Me personally, because you talk about someone who made a splash when he entered the league. He took. You remember, we Bron fans, you remember people were saying he was better than LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So like people was talking like that when it came to Derrick Rose.
That's what I hated him.
I believe Derrick Rose. Me personally, I would put Derrick Rose in top 100 right now. So that's not even me. That's me personally. Because even though I hated him during that time because of Bron, he still was like a sneaky favorite player of mine because he was that good and he made an impact on the league.
He was that good. But when they started talking that AI stuff though, that's when I was super turned off. I'm like, oh. Better than AI. Y'all wild.
They always trying to find somebody to be better than him, be better than AI. They still, but that's dope. Like I said, we gonna keep moving, stay in the NBA, man. Like I said, the NBA season has started. And y'all see the pictures on the screen right now, man. Y'all, if you're not looking right now, who just came up there is Joel Embiid, the process himself. And the beard himself, James Harden. We all know we ain't gonna even worry about everyone else. Don't get me wrong, there's other games going on in the NBA. We can definitely, we could have definitely dived into all that stuff. But nothing is more important or more exciting right now at this time nationally than the debut of James Harden Friday night. I believe it's national TV, ESPN.
It gotta be.
Against the
I don't know if it is. It might be NBA TV or something.
I know it's a national game. I'm not sure what station it's on. I do know we do have the national spot.
But we watching it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, regardless.
Right.
But
it's on our TV.
Yeah. That's real rap though. Yeah, man. James Harden, the debut, the process. I mean. I got a lot to say, so I'm gonna let y'all just. I don't care who goes first. Just what you think. Tomorrow night should be a special night. What do you expect? I mean, you can even give me stat lines if you think a certain stat line, whatever. Just go at it. You can start with you, Zig, man. What do you think about tomorrow night, the debut of James Harden?
I just got one thing to say. That's just one. I'm not giving no stat lines. I'm not. This nigga better not come here and fuck up. You better have the best game.
He just said, I ain't care about nothing else. Just don't F up. Yeah, that's it.
Bro, he better come here and maul, bro. Because if he come here and lay an egg, dog, the city gonna go crazy. That's all I gotta say, bro. He don't got no other choice but to go crazy. Like, it ain't no, he gonna do nothing. No, nigga. You better even hit a triple double. Like, if it's anything less, bro, the expectations
it's high. It's
up
high.
here. Like, we're not
Yeah.
gonna say it, but it's up here, bro. Like, bro.
We're in
He
the
better
honeymoon
come in
phase
this
right now,
joint
so
to
we're
be the
not really
next.
talking about it.
Yeah.
But I absolutely agree. He is definitely a standard. It's definitely a expectation when it comes to him and joining this team. Go ahead, Justin.
I'm excited like everybody else, but I actually have very low expectations for tomorrow night.
Okay.
Just because I feel like he's going to try to overly pass and not really score and just try to fit in. You know how it is because there's been so much talk about and like how they gonna fit together.
Yeah.
But so I feel like he's gonna try to, especially the minutes that he's on the court with Embiid, he's going to try to defer. Now, when Embiid is off the court, all the ISO buckets is coming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But after that, so I have fairly low expectations. They're playing against a team that's I won't say a good defensive team, but
right.
They have some good defensive players. So it could actually wind up being a really good game. But, I'm expecting him to, like, if I was to give a stat line, I'm thinking like 17, like 17, 18, like 10 assists and like 6 boards, 5 boards, something like that. Where he kind of flirting with that triple double.
Yeah. And I more so believe I believe he might grab it. Me personally, it's not gonna be that like you said, it's not gonna be that monstrous one where he putting up 40, 12 and 10, like nothing like that. But I can see him playing the way you said, right? And still reach that thing, like you said, getting like 17 to 20 points, 11 assists, 12 assists. Because like you say, I feel like he definitely is going to try to integrate himself as that playmaker. And I believe that's what they're actually asking him to do as well.
Right.
And then, like I said, he's one of the better rebounding guards within the league. Him and Steph Curry, I don't understand. Two people that don't jump high at all get rebounds. I never would understand that aspect of it, but
they probably it's because they hunt. I feel like they hunt rebounds.
They definitely hunt them. Like them little boys down there, hiding within them trees, sneaking up, getting boards and stuff like that for sure. So I definitely can see him flirting with it, or even getting that triple dub on just a balanced night, 17 to 20 points, 10 to 12 assists, and obviously hitting that 10 mark when it comes to the boards. I'm around where you're at. Actually, both of y'all essentially. We're in the honeymoon phase, so they're not going to. If he wasn't to have the best game tomorrow night or a spectacular one, we ain't gonna kill him right now. Like obviously, we need these couple months for them to gel. I think any backlash, I should say, I ain't gonna say it's gonna come, but any backlash that will come would probably be in the playoffs. But he got to be stinking it up, like literally not doing much. Yeah. But as far as the game tomorrow, just the debut, I look at it as just like I said, like you said, just not high expectations, but I do believe he's going to make an impact in every phase. It's not going to be crazy, but like you said, when he's out there with Embiid, he's definitely going to be more of the facilitator, getting everyone fed, plus Embiid. But then, which I'm glad it was reported today that Doc Rivers said that he's going to always have two of the guys out there. He's basically going to stagger the roster. He's going to have either
which he should have been doing.
It's been doing exactly. Embiid, Harden, Embiid, Maxey, or Harden, Maxey, or whatever combination it is. Two of them are always going to be on the floor together with the role players. So, like I said, when you got moments like that,
y'all ain't gonna mention Harris.
So yeah, so as you mentioned, that aspect of it, I do believe when he's out there with the role players, he's definitely it's gonna be his time to snap and get his buckets essentially like that. With the role players like the George Nang and the Tobias Harris and the Korkmazes and things of that nature like that. So I am excited just to overall see him in that blue. I'm not even sure what color they wearing tomorrow, but whatever
I can
Sixers
tell you
color
right
they got
now.
on, I'm definitely excited to see it, just to see them out there. That's my biggest thing. Finally see a team out there. First of all, that I can actually root for, because I'm not going to even lie to you. We all know, like, this wasn't the easiest team the last couple of years to even root for. Like, I honestly disliked
Right.
it. Other than Joel Embiid, who I just love, I disliked this Sixers team. I just really did. The inconsistencies with it, the coaching at times, the different players that's on the team, stuff like that. I just disliked them. So tomorrow night, going up against the Wolves, like you said, they have some decent defenders on there, but you already know Embiid going to eat lunch. He's gonna dominate Cat. I'm just looking forward to James just
That's
having
gonna
a
be a good
solid night.
matchup,
I'm not
though.
looking for a spectacular, but definitely a solid night with him just filling up the stat sheet, but then also obviously getting a win and just seeing this thing progress down the line of the rest of the season and them into the playoffs. Because I really believe, man, people scared to say it, but I really believe, man, and you actually mentioned it earlier. It didn't slip my mind, Justin, that this East is wide open. It's literally anybody can win this thing. Anybody. Like, we just seen us get blown out by the Celtics before the All-Star game, get blown out by them by 50. And you would think the next game we have against the defending champions in the Bucks, you would think we would just be like, you know what, forget it. We're gonna mellow them. We're gonna get ready for the All-Star game. We beat them, the
Right.
defending champions against
On the
Giannis. You know what I'm
road.
saying?
On the road.
On the road in Milwaukee, where we haven't won in a good while out there. So it's like it's up for grabs. This East is up for grabs, and obviously we know the Nets are going to get healthy. They're going to move up. I'm not going to say act like that's not a solid
Right.
team when they get healthy. They're going to move up in the standings, so they're going to be a play as well. And they still have Kevin Durant. So, man, overall, like James Harden,
Kyrie coming back playing home
yeah, like
too.
you said,
So
New York said the mandate this should be this week or early as next week. That should be done with the whole city mandate. So he's not a part time player anymore as well. So definitely looking forward for this season and James Harden just integrating himself. Just leading up to tomorrow night. I know, like I said, we less than, what time is it? We less than 24 hours away when it comes to the game being tomorrow.
it's late.
Yeah. James Harden in this team. What's a realistic, in your view, obviously, and you guys' view, what's a realistic expectation? I kind of hinted at mine. I feel like we can actually win it all, but what's a realistic expectation that you believe this team can go with the addition of James Harden? Knowing, yes, we know the team is incomplete, but when you got two players like James and Joel on your team, you still have a chance. So what's your realistic expectations with this team moving forward, especially down the stretch, having to gel together and then going into the playoffs? Anybody can start. It don't even matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's perfect timing. I'm not too really worried about the season. The way the East is right now, everybody's just gonna fall where they fall.
Right.
As far as playoffs, I got them in a conference championship. It just depends on who they play.
Okay, that's good.
It just depends on who they play, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like the Bucks is just like not the Bucks anymore. So if the Bucks get to the conference championship, that's probably gonna go to 7 games. I ain't really like the Nets. I mean, if they're healthy, maybe, but I don't think they played enough together to even like stack up against the Sixers. I think that would be. I think the Sixers can beat the Nets. The scary team though, I think the Bulls is the scary team. I think they're the
Really?
sleeper team. Of course they're
We've been
they're at the top.
smacking them around all year, with or without it be. But go ahead, I hear you. Go ahead, say your point. It's your situation.
So that I just think they're the sleeper team. I don't think they're going to win, but I feel as though if the Sixers don't come focused, because that's probably going to be one of the teams they play.
Okay.
And it's not so much the players. I just don't trust Doc Rivers.
That's a good.
Like
that's a hell of a.
it's literally that simple. But I got the Sixers in the conference championship going against the Bucks. I don't want to say what's going on, right? Like how they going to phase up against them because it's the Bucks. Like I'm not. They the defending champs for a reason.
Right.
So I got those two, those two. But then, if like I said, if they sleep on a team like the Heat or the Bulls, it could be a long series.
Anything can happen for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling like it all depends because the East is so jumbled up. Like it depends on the matchup. Because like last year we had the quote unquote easiest path to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then we lost to the Hawks. So I feel like it depends on the matchup. I feel like conference finals. Yes, I feel like that's realistic.
Okay.
I also feel like we shouldn't panic if we end up 4-5 with the Bucks or something like that, and we lose to the Bucks in the first round of 7. Like I feel like we shouldn't panic, like because it's just all about the matchups at that point.
Right.
I also feel like the Heat will be, of course, we talk about Brooklyn. Like I mean, they all get back together, healthy, whatever. They're definitely formidable. The Heat too, I feel like they're formidable because of their style of play and their defense, but I just don't think the Heat have enough offense to keep up with the Sixers.
Right. That part I agree. Go ahead. I'm
but
disagreeing with you.
yeah, I feel like conference finals is realistic, and then just depends on who they play. Like like I said, if they run into the Bucks, they could get buzzsawed out. But if they run into anybody else in the conference finals, they got a good shot against everybody else in the East. I'm talking about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
No, I listen. I agree. Like I said, I'm not necessarily afraid to say Chip, but like I said, I do agree that it does matter when it comes to matchups. Essentially, like that, who you play, styles of play. Because, like you said, if you was to face a Heat, like Zig said, if you're not focused, if you're not ready for someone like that or mentally prepared to play these guys, essentially like that, they can creep up on you and they can sit there and steal some games, and then you out of nowhere looking in a game 7 with all the pressure on you. And you know that them Heat boys, they gonna be gritty. They gonna fight to the end. They gonna give you everything they got. And then Jimmy Butler, he don't want to lose to no Embiid, even though they friends. He not losing. Yeah. He don't want to lose to him. So matchups definitely plays a part in that. I can see us getting there, but it's all about who we see. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm afraid of the Bucks. I understand them, but I do believe. If I believe what I believe when it comes to James Harden, has given us just that extra. Because let me say this, just playing the Bucks in the past, right? We always played them close, like always. People forget that, like we never have games where it's like unless other than the one joint that they blew us out at the end when Giannis set on the logo in the middle of the court. Yeah. But we've always matched up with them. Games always been close. But them being that close. And our biggest problem still being someone to be able to perimeterally score. Like, you know what I'm saying? So now that you have that added element of actually having someone, and if he be who I think he is, obviously we all know and think that he's better than Chris Middleton. And I'm actually fond of Chris Middleton. He's a very good player in NBA. He's just under the shadow of Giannis. But our biggest thing was just always having that perimeter scorer. And if we match up against them, we already know Embiid gonna do what he gonna do. They have no one to be able to match up with him. Giannis is Giannis. It is what it is when it comes to him. He'll have a great game, but then you also have a game like we just did where we can pack the paint and he has nothing. He can't go into anything, force him to shoot. But then you got games like that where it's like, all right, if we gotta stay scoring with him, now we got two people that can do that. Or if we able to slow Giannis down, he only scored 17 points this game, and James give you 20-something, and hopefully Tobias give you something, and Joel still go off, we winning those games. A lot of those games in the past just came down to us not being able to score in the fourth quarter. That's been our Achilles heels for years. Like, that fourth quarter, we just
that might be Harden time.
And it's going to have to because like
hold on, right back.
They said they said what they say it all the time. Where it's our biggest thing is not having as much talent as we needed. We had to be perfect all the time. Like literally, everything we did had to be perfect. Like if we didn't do something right, guess what? it wasn't going to happen, and we can fell in that situation. So now that you have James, it's like down the stretch. Forget running a play. Forget get that man the ball, either him or Embiid. You can't double them because either one is going to get the ball, and
pick and roll between them two or something like that.
What you say? Go ahead.
I said pick and roll between Embiid and Harden or something.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine
that's the fourth quarter offense under 5 minutes?
Come on, man. That's all this. What you just said right there. That's all this NBA is in today's. That's all the NBA is. I ain't gonna say today's game. When it comes down to crunch time, it's all about give it to your best player. We're gonna run this pick and roll action with the two best situations that we got out there, and we're gonna rock out from there. So definitely, like that's what it all boils down. So I can definitely see his conference finals for sure. And I know coming off last year, but I just really believe that this narrative that James Harden is just done, fat, not going to, with all this stuff that they saying, like, it's a non-issue for me personally, because we've all seen it. Once the man is motivated and actually engaged in what he wants to do, he's going to go put forth out there. And the simple fact that his worst 2 years was ending in Houston, and then obviously this year before he got traded, and he still was averaging over 20 points. He still was averaging 10 assists. He still was averaging 6 to 8 rebounds.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, my man's second in the league in assists.
Right.
He's averaging like almost a career low, but it's 22.5. That's more than our second best player. Tobias was averaging more than Ben was averaging. Remember, Ben only averaged 15 last year.
Yep.
So then on top of that, he was getting 6 or 7 rebounds. And we're talking about, like, we're not even, like, what frustrates me is, like, they kept talking about Harden last year injury. I'm like, yo, there was a narrative building up when he first got to Brooklyn of him being in the MVP conversation because he started facilitating. He was getting triple-doubles. He was scoring 25, 30, getting triple-doubles. They was winning a lot of games. And there was a little narrative building for Harden MVP again. And I'm like, he can be the same guy here. And that's it. And I'm like, I think the narrative is changing because
it's going to change.
Everybody,
as this season goes on.
I just think that the narrative has changed about how bad of a player he is, and he washed. And I'm just like, bro, like it's just hate. That's what it just feels like. It's just hate that the Sixers got a star player for Ben. They didn't take pennies or peanuts on a dollar. And now that they got Harden, it's like, oh, how's it going to work? Oh, we going, like, nah, y'all know that it's about to be dangerous, and y'all want to just change the narrative to make, people inside the organization feel some type of way. This is the best move that they can make, and they made it. And here we are now, and people, for real, are scared. He's going to make an impact, and he's going to make other people better. Like, I'm excited to see Danny Green get back to his normal self. I'm excited to see Furkan to be getting back to his normal self. Like, because this whole Ben situation and all that, we had to turn Furkan into a point guard.
Yes. You hit the nail on the head. Yes.
That's not his game. He got better at it. Don't get me wrong. He needed the experience. He got better at it. He's better at driving downhill and all that stuff. But Furkan really a knockdown shooter.
That's it.
James going to open that up for him. Danny Green, he's going to open that up for him. Like, it's that simple.
I listen. You ain't saying nothing. I done, and I'm not the biggest guy on Korkmaz and Danny Green and stuff like that. Especially now, like I said, we gonna wrap it up because the time is well spent, man. I appreciate you guys definitely tapping in with me and doing this. Just want to end it on this, man. It's just like I said, the Sixers are in a great position. I'm not worried about the window. I'm not worried about health. I'm not worried about if someone's ready or not. Like all that stuff, I'm not worried about because a hooper. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know someone who hoops. Like, and he's showing you time and time again when he's motivated into it. And we just talked about the top 75 players. He's not top 75 players for nothing. Right. I know right now the narrative is, oh, whoa, this, that, party guy don't take care of his body, X, Y, and Z. How quickly they forgot what this man was doing, like the likes of Stephen A, calling him the greatest scorer of all time and all like that. And then all the narrative is...
He's not even really a partier like that, though.
He be drunk. He just came out today as well. He talking about how Baby and Dirk used to come to his crib and don't leave. He got to practice in 3 hours.
I don't know, man.
Strip clubs and everything.
It's balls like Charles Barkley that stayed drunk. Like,
I mean, we can go back to the 90s with Jordan and all them niggas.
AI is a partier, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, like, you feel saying, I don't really consider James Harden he ain't too crazy.
If they tell some stories, he probably was out here drawing. We seen him a lot.
He probably was.
In the Houston, they couldn't find him. He was at freaking Magic City in Atlanta the day before he got back to Houston. So it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a lifestyle he liked. He liked the rapper lifestyle. I'm not going to say act like that's not what he was into. But it's also come to a time when you mature, when you understand, because he has everything. He has all the accolades, MVP. I'm not MVP. Did he win MVP?
Yeah,
no, he got scoring titles.
Yeah.
No,
he did win it?
MVP.
Oh, yes, he did.
He got MVP.
Yeah. So MVP, scoring titles, like, only thing left for him to do was a chip. So, like, at one time, as sooner or later, we grow up. Point blank period. We grow up, and it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I need to do, and that was the plan. Going to Brooklyn was I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to win. I ain't gotta be the guy no more. But obviously that didn't turn out. But it is what it is, man. I'm excited, and I can't wait till tomorrow. I'll definitely be tuned in, ready. I have my snacks, everything going. Before we get out of here, definitely any plugs, anything you got to do, y'all go at it. Make sure y'all follow them, everything that I do. So Justin, since you're the guest, man, let us know what you got going on, where to follow you at, everything. Just go ahead.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as Woodwork for Sneaks. You can look out for my writing on PSN. Much appreciated. You can also listen to me on the Baseline Scoop Sixers podcast. That drops weekly. So appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Zig, anything you got going on? Anything planned up? No.
Man, because every day it's like something new. Every day I'm working. So y'all can just tune into the journey. That's all I'm gonna say. Follow me on all platforms. ZiggtheArtist, ZiggtheArtist. My album out right now, still streaming, still going crazy, louder than words. And yeah, man, that's it.
Yes, sir. And you know I'm your boy AD, man, your neighborhood sports guy. Once again, make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe, hit them notifications buttons, because you can stay in the loop at all times when we drop episodes weekly and any other special events that we have throughout these sports calendar years, man. Again, it's your boy AB, Zig the Artist. Justin, I appreciate you for joining us again. Definitely want to have you back, man. And this is the Open Gym. Yes, sir!
Yeah.
And you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Zig the Artist. Make sure y'all tune into my album Louder Than Words, out right now on all major platforms. You know what it is, man. Open Gym, Zig the Artist. Gillie! Yeah.